I'm gonna go ahead and apologize if you hear a lot of banging and clanging because there's people that are replacing the wood outside of my apartment right now. Hey y'all, it's Bronwyn and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a continuation of last week. Last week's video was my 5 must-dos that are in Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, so today's video is going to be my 5 must-dos that are in Hollywood Studios and Epcot. If you didn't see last week's video, I'm going to link it down below, so if you want to go and check that one out, you can, or you can watch the end of the video, whichever works. So first up is going to be Hollywood Studios, and we're gonna be honest, Hollywood Studios is just a little bit, it's a really fun park. I love Hollywood Studios, but there's a lot of construction going on right now. Toy Story Land is about to open on June 30th of this year, which I'm so excited for. And Star Wars Land is gonna open sometime in 2019. And they also closed the Great Movie Ride a couple months ago because a new ride is going in there, so they don't have that anymore. It's just, what they do have is really good though, so I feel like that makes up for the fact that there's a lot of construction. The show that I feel like you can absolutely not go to Hollywood Studios without seeing is Fantasmic, which is their nighttime show. Fantasmic has been around for, honestly, as long as I can remember. I don't know the actual like debut year or date of it, but I know I've been seeing Fantasmic my whole life. Unlike most of the other nighttime shows, it's much more than just a fireworks show. I honestly wouldn't even really call it a fireworks show. It's more just a stage show that takes place at night that also has some fireworks at the end. It has tons of characters in it. They have a whole Pocahontas section. It's all about Mickey, so obviously Mickey Mouse is in it. There's a whole like Lion King animal section. There's princess section. Like there's a part at the end where tons of characters come out on a boat. Like literally basically every character that you would want to be in it, except for like Elsa is in it. Even Moana is on it. Like, so cool. I don't really know how to like describe Fantasmic. It's all about Mickey and you're in his imagination and bad people are trying to take over his dreams, and that's like, that's what it's about, but it sounds stupid when you say it out loud, but it's so good. There are fireworks in it. They have these like, it's like water sprays and acts as a projector basically, or like a screen, and there's stuff like projected on it so you get to like watch little parts of stuff on water, which is super cool. Mickey literally shoots fireworks out of his fingers. If that's not a reason to see it, I don't know what is. As far as food goes in Hollywood Studios, they have a lot of good full service, but their quick services I'm honestly always kind of disappointed by. So the one that I think that you should probably check out is Backlot Express. It's kind of over by like where Star Tours is. It's like in between Star Tours and Indiana Jones. And they don't have the most vast menu. I really like the theming of that restaurant. You also get free refills, which that's nice. And just compared to the other quick services, it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit better. I get chicken and waffles there, and everybody makes fun of me when I go with them because I don't eat chicken and waffles like a normal person. I literally just like, it's as if like the waffles are my french fries. Like I eat the chicken just on its own, like with ketchup, and then I eat the waffles just on their own with syrup. So I don't eat them correctly, but it's good. We like it, and you still get like a side with it, and I normally get like fruit or something to make it healthy. They have like burgers and stuff. They have ices, which I love ices. Ices will save your life when living in Florida because that's like the only thing that will ever cool me down is an icy, which they have there. So at the very least, just get an icy. So the 3 attractions that I think you definitely need to do are Tower of Terror, Frozen Ever After, and Toy Story Mania. Tower of Terror I feel like is a no-brainer. If you don't like thrill rides, this one is probably not for you. It's centered around the Twilight Zone, I think is the name of, it used to be a TV show. So it's centered around that, and basically you go onto a maintenance elevator to see what is happening in this hotel that is like abandoned and crazy and has ghosts, and the elevator just like shoots up and down a lot. The track actually of the shooting up and down is different every time, which I think is really exciting because once you like get into the part where it's gonna start doing that, you don't know if you're gonna go up or down, which I think is really cool because like you expect to drop, but then when you shoot up, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so good. There also is a little bit of a ride before the shooting up and down. It's not like Splash Mountain where it's like a 10-minute ride before all of that happens, but like there's, I would say, I mean, there's like 2 or 3 minutes of ride before you get to the crazy part, so be aware of that you don't just get on and start immediately going up and down. Personally, I'm not a fan of Rock and Roller Coaster. I think it's a really boring roller coaster, but Tower of Terror, like, I don't normally like rides that drop like that, but I don't know, I just love Tower of Terror. It's so cool. Frozen Ever After, I feel like, is no surprise to anyone. I think every single time that I went to Hollywood Studios during my program, I had to go and see Frozen Ever After. Oh my god, I called it Frozen Ever After. It's not Frozen Ever After, it's the Frozen Sing-Along Celebration. Wow, I am so sorry. I feel like such a fake fan. I offended myself. Oh no, okay. It's the Frozen Sing-Along Celebration. Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, wow. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. The Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, I'm pretty sure I did every single time that I was in Hollywood Studios. It's basically, if you've never been, it's a stage show that has two narrators, Eric and Aria, and they are the royal historians of Arendelle. So they are there to tell the story of basically the movie. Anna and Elsa are in it, Kristoff is in it, Olaf was in it during the holiday season, so that was really cool. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a sing-along celebration. You get to basically sing all of the songs. Elsa comes out at the end and you get to sing with her. It snows, spoiler alert. It's just, I don't know, I love Frozen, so I think that's why I love it, but I know like my roommates didn't love Frozen as much as I did, and that became like one of their favorite things to do also. Eric and Aria are also just incredible. They make jokes throughout the whole show, which is just, they make like stupid jokes the whole time. It's like Kristoff comes out and Aria starts freaking out thinking it's like Justin Bieber. Like they're very current like jokes and stuff, and it's not just stupid Disney references. It's like they're honestly just like poking fun of what everybody else is already thinking. So I don't know, I like that part of it too. So third is Toy Story Mania, which if you've been to Magic Kingdom, it's kind of like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, where you have a little something and you're shooting something else. Basically, it has a little contraption that you hold, and then it has like a ball on a string that you pull, and that's what makes it fire. I think that it's a lot more entertaining than Buzz Lightyear because the ride is also newer, so it's easier to see like where you're shooting, and everybody has a different color, so it's not like everybody just has a little red dot that they're pointing at the same thing. You have a personal screen for you and the person that you're sitting next to, so, and you both have different colors, so you can completely see what you're doing, and it's easy to see like how many points you're getting. It also tells you like your accuracy and that kind of stuff. I get very competitive on that ride, even though I'm awful at it. I don't know, I just think that one is much more well done than Buzz Lightyear is. Not that I don't love Buzz, but you get in your little car and you go around to different screens. They all have like different theming. Like there's one where you are like shooting like, I don't know, some sort of balls, and they are like breaking plates, or you have needles that are shooting to pop balloons. I just think it's like more well thought out, and I don't know, that was just, it's a good one. It's definitely one that you should check out. I'm really excited for Toy Story Land to open. I'm not a huge Toy Story fan. Like I don't dislike it, I've just never, I think I've seen all the movies like maybe once, but I'm really excited because they're having 2 new attractions there. So who knows, those ones might turn into my favorites, but we'll see what happens. I apologize if the framing just changed. My camera died, so I had to change the battery real quick. I really like studios actually, but it's just hard to make a full day out of it because currently there are like 5 rides there, and there's about 2 or 3 shows, so there's not a lot, but it's still, I love studios still though. Like it's very highly decorated. It's my favorite place. If you ever want to shop, that's my favorite place to do it. I'm not really sure why. I don't know, I like all the stores. I think that they're set up well, and they're very like, this is the clothing store, this is the candy store, it's very easy to find the stuff that you want, I think is why I like it so much. So last but certainly not least, because we all know it's my favorite park, is Epcot! So my favorite show in Epcot, I don't know if it necessarily counts as a show, but I'm gonna count it, so oh well. But it's the Voices of Liberty that are in the America Pavilion in the World Showcase. Because they're in the America Pavilion, the Voices of Liberty, that are singers, if you didn't know from their name, they sing a lot of patriotic songs. They also throw in some Disney songs. They just, I love them. So many people don't know that like they're a thing or have never gone to see them because they're not just out and about. They're inside of the America Pavilion. And so I always am like, y'all, their show is at 1:45, we gotta go. And they are not super excited about it, but I make them go anyway. And then once they see it, they're like, wait, I love this. And I'm like, yeah, I told you, it's the best thing ever. There's 4 guys and 4 girls, and then a person that leads them all, which I've seen a boy and a girl. After I said there might be 5, but I'm pretty sure there's 4 on most days. And they sing some tunes. They sing for about 15 minutes, so it's a nice just little like, get a break inside for a little while, listen to some good singing, and then you're on your way. I love the Voices of Liberty. Go check them out. Picking a quick service restaurant in Epcot that is my favorite was so hard because They have the most variety of food out of all of the Disney parks. In World Showcase, they have 11 different countries, and each of the countries has its own quick service restaurant that is authentic food to that country. So you don't have to eat chicken nuggets and french fries. You literally can get anything your heart desires. I feel like the one that I've eaten the most at and like had multiple things on the menu and have enjoyed all of them is actually the quick service in Mexico, which I'm not 100% sure of the name. I also probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it because I'm actually in a Spanish class this semester, but I'm not the best at Spanish and I don't want to butcher it. So the quick service restaurant in Mexico. They have a pretty authentic menu. Like, you can get chicken tacos, you can get beef tacos, you can get cheese empanadas, which is what I get, and it's basically like a quesadilla, except it's deep fried instead of just like in a tortilla. You can get churros, you can get nachos. Like, I basically eat everything on the menu, which just, maybe, I don't know how much that says about how good of a restaurant it is because I'm a really picky eater, but I eat everything on the menu, so like, that's pretty impressive. At most of the places in Disney, I can't finish a kid's meal, so the fact that I can finish the adult meal at this restaurant, I think goes to show that the portions are pretty small, but I mean, it still fills you up and the food is worth it because it's so good. So you should probably just still go anyway. If you need to go get back for seconds, live your best life. The 3 attractions that I feel like are must-dos in Epcot are Test Track, Soarin', and Frozen Ever After. I just jumped the gun. I know that the rides are different in Studios and Epcot, but I forgot which park I was talking about, which is why I think I said Frozen Ever After. Frozen Ever After is in Epcot, Frozen Sing-Along is in Studios. Got it. Test Track actually used to be my favorite ride in all of Disney World. Back in the day when I was growing up, the whole premise of the ride was that you are a crash dummy that is testing new cars. So you get in your car and you go over like super cobbly streets, you almost crash into a wall, you go around really sharp turns super fast, you get to go outside and go super fast. Like, it was just a really good ride. The concept made sense. I loved it. Chevrolet sponsored it about 6 or 7 years ago, so it's still the same track, but the theming of the ride is different. Basically, while you're still in the queue, you get to design a car and you get to pick like the shape and the size and the color and all that kind of stuff. And it's the whole premise of the ride now is that you're testing the durability of the car that you built. Although the ride is still the same track, they basically like stripped away all the good parts. Like, okay, the part when it was like super cobbly and stuff, you were going down a hill. You still go down that hill, but that's all you do. You just go down a hill kind of slow and it's just flat. I know a lot of people that didn't go on the ride when it was the crash dummy version still love it now because they don't know anything different and it's just a fun ride. Whereas I just remember how good it was before that I'm always a little bit disappointed. It's still fun and you still totally need to do it, and I still go on it most of the times when I'm in the park, but it's not as good as it used to be. Soarin' also got a little bit of an upgrade about 4 or 5 years ago. It used to just be Soarin' over California, but now it's Soarin' around the world. So you are in a row of 10 people and you go up into the air and there's a huge screen in front of you. So it used to be you saw a bunch of different scenes of California, and now, which I think is much better, you get to see scenes from all over the world. So you see the Taj Mahal, you see the pyramids, you see all kinds of cool stuff like that. You see the Eiffel Tower, you get to see Epcot, which is cool. So I definitely think that the upgrade of that ride made it a lot stronger. It still has like the same music, it's still the same concept behind the ride, which I appreciate. And Soarin's just, I don't know, like, when I think about it, like, you just sit there and you're watching a screen. That sounds boring, but the way that they do it, like, it's a cool ride. They also have scents that get piped in. So there's one part where I think you're in Fiji, it's some island, and it like literally smells like Bath and Body Works, like coconuts and everything, in a good way, not like gross Bath and Body Works. And I don't know, I just really like it. That's one that definitely normally has a pretty long wait, but I would say is honestly worth the wait. Last, but again, certainly not least, is Frozen Ever After. It's really funny now that I'm about to talk about this one that all of the ones I've talked about have like changed within the last couple of years, but that's interesting. Go Epcot, upgraded. So Frozen Ever After, if you can't guess from the title, is all about Frozen. It replaced the Maelstrom ride that was in the Norway Pavilion in the World Showcase. It's still the same track and everything, but now instead of being about trolls in Norway, it's about Frozen. I know a lot of people that don't like Frozen, don't care about Frozen, don't get the hype, that love this ride. As far as little kid rides go, it is the most well done. It has a lot of stuff going on. Like, it's a boat ride, so you sit in a boat and you just kind of like go around and look at stuff, but it's not like Small World where you literally just sit in a boat and you don't do anything. You just cruise around and look at stuff. Frozen's got some drops. You go backwards for a little while. All of the animatronics that are on the ride are incredible. They're so well done. They have just all of the details that go into it. Like there's a part where you see Elsa and you're in her ice castle and she shoots you backwards with her powers, and like all on the walls and on the ceiling, it's like you see her icy powers, and it's just like, that part gets me every time. Like it's so cool, it's so well done. Even if you don't like Frozen, you need to go on that ride because it's honestly incredible. So that is the last of the Disney parks. We got Hollywood Studios and we got Epcot done. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, like I said at the beginning, if you want to go and see the one where I talked about Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. Definitely go and check that out. Let me know what some of your must-do things are, what your favorite restaurant is, or your favorite show, because I would love to know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all again on Thursday. Bye, y'all.